You are listening to the #1 podcast made by two guys 40 plus who can dismount their bike. Well, I've been waiting for that for a few weeks because we haven't done a show.
What? My look as to what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
So you've learned how to dismount a bike?
Well, no, I know how to dismount the bike, but, President Prune Juice fell off the bike.
Oh, you're going back to that?
Yeah, well, I had to. It's been a few weeks. I know it's a little outdated. It's not exactly, prime news right now. But I'm going to give the guy a break. I'm actually on his side.
Why is that?
Because it's happened. Like, if you have ever... Remember, I used to do the triathlons.
Right, and now you do a stationary bike.
Now I do a stationary bike. But once you're clipped in, it's sometimes you forget. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
He had clips?
He didn't have clips. He had cages. But he's also almost 80 years old. See, this is what I don't understand. Like, what are they trying to prove? We know the guy ain't there, right?
He almost hit the pole, right? There was like a pole there, too, right?
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, over the years, they've always showed, like, Clinton, would jog and go get his French fries. And they always have the presidents doing something physical or showing that they're active. But the fact is, the guy's 80 years old. I don't want to see him active. Like, he goes down and breaks a hip, that's it. Well, like, that's the first sign. You have that grandparent that, like, falls in the shower, breaks their hip, they go in the hospital, and, like, six weeks later, they're gone.
Yeah.
And this is the president of the United States. So I think
he was
no,
okay,
he
right?
didn't. And then he looked like
good.
Well, yeah, and then he looked like a douche jumping around the next day after he left church. Like, I'm okay. But I'm just saying, like, look at the alternative. Like, his backup is not good. This is, I'm just saying, we're the country's in enough trouble as it is, and I'm surprised they didn't, like, blame Putin for him falling off the bike.
You're coming in hard. You're coming in hard and fast tonight, aren't you?
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying.
Wow.
It's the relief. It's that relief pitcher at the end of the bench you really don't want to bring in.
It's been a couple of weeks. You're very excited to get out of the bullpen, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I know. But we have a guest tonight.
We do.
We have a guest tonight, and we're going to get to our guest right after this. Okay, our guest is here, Mr. Mazer. How you doing?
Doing well. Thank you guys very much for having me. What a beautiful and
tranquil
evening. It's very namaste.
Yeah.
And the way it should be.
Well, this is a very special episode.
Aren't they all?
No, but this one in particular, because we're having a Jeff-ervention.
A Jeff-ervention?
Jeff-ervention.
Today is the day that we're going to make Jeff become a phoenix rising from Arizona.
Because we're genuinely worried about you.
Get it? And at the same point, we just wanted to know and how to keep positive Jeff on that upward trajectory.
Jeff is always positive.
He is.
He is. But
he's also very realistic. He is very attention to detail. And at the same time, there is no better devil's advocate out there than our friend, Jeff.
However.
Did you prepare for this, the two of you, or something? Like,
is
this like an intervention?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm getting a little worried about you. It's been a couple of weeks since we did the show.
Right.
Look, we're busy. It's not our prime focus. It's not exactly generating the income that we thought it would be at this point, but whatever it does.
Was there ever an income component to...
Well, we've talked about this.
I think that there was, and the scalability factor is still there.
It's still there.
It's still there, and we do have an audience. And I like to say we because I feel like I'm part of the show, too. I live, breathe, eat, and die this along with you guys. And I want to see this succeed more than anyone because I think that this will just be, again, a positive theme that we want to keep going. And we want Jeff to still be positive along with it. The podcast will get there. But it only gets there with heavy lifting.
Well, okay, all right. Let's back up a second.
Okay.
I'm still doing the podcast.
Right, yes.
I'm not retiring.
No, we're not saying that.
Just
but
the last couple of weeks were a little hectic.
You needed a reboot. There was.
There was. I saw you on the beach this weekend.
Yeah?
I was concerned. You canceled last week.
I had to.
Well, I posted that too.
He had to cancel last night.
But that's okay. But that's a 24-hour turnaround.
Well, also last night, I don't think would it have been as tranquil outside
no, it
like it is tonight. I mean, if you look around, if you look outside tonight, it's not really much that we need to worry about with the exception of our administration. But other than that.
But I saw you on the beach this weekend, and there's a certain Jeff that I see on the beach sitting in his chair, nice and relaxed, the drink in hand, watching the waves come in and go out and come in and go out. A nice tranquil Jeff.
Tranquil Jeff.
Tranquil Jeff. Wasn't there was this air of stress. There was an air of unhappiness.
It seemed like more of a lack of vitamin D, that he didn't want to have the sun get into his skin to kind of let him be outside.
So and you've been canceling. He didn't look happy. It was more of a forced happiness. I think he was trying to put on.
Not at all. No way. Wait.
The beach is Jeff's happy place.
That's my happy place.
I know, but you weren't as happy as you usually are.
I think that it was a long, stressful couple of weeks. I think that there's been a lot of volatility, if I may say, Jeff. Like we've been discussing VIX and other...
Yeah, the VIX index was high. The VIX index was high.
And I think that you relate to the VIX a lot because your personality, when it's volatile, it can go up above 30. But when you're not there and it trends near that 20 level...
Yeah.
It's concerning to the street.
Yes,
and I'll let Rob take it.
Yeah, and we were, I saw you. We talked. We sat. We talked for a while, and I left with a concern. I was very worried, and then Mark and I spoke, and we're just, this isn't the same person
honest,
that we know.
My concern was really about Rob's short game not being to where he wanted it to be.
No, the short game's actually good.
So was it the short game or was it the woods that you wanted to kind of improve?
No, it was the irons.
Middle game.
Well, what happened was I was hitting really well. And then I went to go for my club fitting, and I got the yips. I had the yips for 3 weeks.
You definitely had a little tin cup.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't, I was putting the... the thing behind my ear, my change in my left pocket. I was turned my hat backwards, upside down.
I think Rob's spending too much time at the cabana and not on the beach. I think that he's very tight.
I just want to make sure we're done with the intervention.
We'll get back to that after the next commercial break.
Because I'm still trying to figure this all out.
But then it came back. I worked on it, and then I went to play.
Not the intervention. We're talking about the yips.
Yeah, I know. He's got the yips.
Yeah. But then Friday I went. I got a do-over on my first tee shot.
From who?
The guy said, take another one. And I had a bad, and then after that,
customary.
I hit it. I was 5 feet from the hole.
Same man, same swing,
and it just went. And I think I got it out. And in my short game, from 50 in, was great. Everything off the tee. Off the tee. Okay, maybe I missed the green, but that second shot was right on the green.
You have a deadly game within 100 yards.
Oh,
it's
you're golden.
The difference between
the second shot on the executive course.
Yeah,
aren't the holes 200 yards?
Well, it depends because let's just say if you don't
lay up.
Well, if you don't target it and it doesn't pinpoint, you definitely need a good second shot to get you in par position. But you know what? The bulk of the holes, you should be able to drive appropriately. But there's a few of them that it's a little bit of a reach.
Yeah.
Are you using a pitching wedge on the second shot? You're not using anything more than that.
Sandwich.
Okay.
I'm on my sandwich. I'm using my sandwich. Well, here, the first two are easy, 7-iron, you should be on the green if you hit it well. Correct. Third one is about 200 yards.
Yes.
So I hit an easy driver, and I was on the green.
200-yard club is tough because if you don't have an exact hybrid now, I don't know if you know the story of my golf club, so I have very similar golf clubs to Jeff, but mine are actually a little bit more, let's say, classic.
Don't you have the
older.
Kennedy clubs? Weren't they? Didn't you buy those at auction?
Actually,
wooden shafts.
My Titleist DCIs are from 1995 with the authentic steel shafts. And how did these happen? The place that I had kept my clubs at, the caddy shack burnt down. So insurance covered 80% of the clubs. So I tried to say I had some cougar ants, I had a few mink head covers, insurance didn't, and maybe a little bit of, and a Van Gogh copy in my bag just for good luck. But since they didn't believe that, I got a chance to try out these clubs, and I still have these irons from 1995. And I got to say, if I'm not at a fancy place or I'm just at a place that I could just get the yardage from sprinkler heads,
right,
I know what club to use exactly. It's not even a question. And it's a little bit of a heavier swing, but I got to tell you, the clubs are from the Clinton administration.
But we're overlooking the obvious here.
What's that?
Because it sounds like you didn't have the right insurance broker giving you advice.
Only
when you
80%, you're right. It was only 80%.
Yeah, it was only 80%.
Yeah.
And if you're not fully covered...
I guess it's like a car. It's like a car. You drive it off the lot, they lose value.
I mean, I'm telling you, I could have probably gone to that Callaway shed.
Do you need some recommendations for insurance brokers?
I could.
Now here's the question. Here's the question though. When do we have the open? When are we open?
Well, hopefully they cancel all of the visiting days and our schedules and weekends open up a lot more. Oh, so you're good.
Oh, we're good. Maine's gone.
Okay, so Maine
3 weeks or 4 weeks before even camp.
Interesting.
Mine is still on as of right now.
As of now,
Ada was interesting. You know, it wasn't about the kids, which made a really good point. They were more concerned about the staff getting sick than the kids.
And it seems like the staff has been the ones bringing it into...
Right, so they didn't want like 1,000 people, coming in, and then like I said this, like what if your kitchen staff goes down, and they got a quarantine? You can eat cereal for 5 days.
Well, I sent my daughter up with ramen noodles and mac and cheese that she's using the very clean sink water to help, provide daily nutrition.
Well water. It's very good for the frozen mac and cheese.
I actually told her to put it in the lake water and see if it would help.
Yeah, that might help.
So maybe what we could do with the invitational.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that your schedule, Rob, with what you do and how you service America, you start very early.
Service America.
And
Dude, we keep the lights on in New York.
Listen, it's a heavy lift. I used to have hours that I worked at night. I had hours that I worked early in the morning like you. So we will be happy to work and revolve around your schedule.
You know what
I
might
gotta
be
say,
good? I might get maybe a 6 o'clock.
It would be good for Jeff to get out a little bit too. And I think it's just a nice way for all of us to be outside together, refresh, reset, and just appreciate.
Well, I think also too. Well, getting back to the intervention, the Jeffervention,
the Jeffervention,
when said wife, says to me, "Please do the show to get him out of the house." That was like the icing on the cake right there. That's when the worry really started to come in.
I get it. You see me every week at the beach.
Well, she's concerned, Jeff. We're doing this for your marriage too, and your wife.
My marriage? Now you're turning it into my marriage.
Well, she's worried about you.
I feel like this will be like a padded van in front of my house when I get home tonight.
No, we didn't go that far. We called them off.
Your wife loves you, still wants you at home. The dog, at least one out of the 2 dogs, wants you definitely there.
I think when said wife says, "Please get him out of the house to do the podcast," that's concerning.
I think she just realized that your volatility index was getting above 30, and she needed to basically say, "You know what, Jeff? Maybe it's time to just, let's
be with the boys a little bit, get out, relax." This is out of love.
That's why we're both here.
You two are out of your mind.
And at the same time, being here and being so kindly invited, that not only being a polite house guest, like I was taught from previous episodes from my friend Robert Zimmerman.
Thank you.
I also wanted to bring a little bit of love that is also positive to help not only Jeff, but also to make Rob happy.
Oh.
So I have here a portable Yeti cooler. It's a backpack.
That's heavy duty.
With 6
Did you ever see this thing?
types of Hill's Chills.
Oh, my God.
Flavors. Now, I want to keep them frozen, and yes, there are Yeti ice packs in the backpack to keep it cool.
It's all
but
Yeti.
It is in here, and we brought.
Should we taste test?
So it's up to the committee, but it's in here and ready. But again, it's all about being positive.
That's sicko mode right there. That's the Yeti that keeps on giving.
That thing can last for a long time.
That's insane.
It's all about us being positive tonight. And just
It's
keeping everybody...
Like, we're supposed to do this at the beach. You didn't want to come up to the cabana to do the show. You worry, we have to move the table inside. There was concerning factors, Jeff. This is out of love. We're not sending you off to a place in Arizona, If
we were,
not driving
I would definitely go with you.
Yeah.
I would definitely go with you.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd be going alone.
Right. Well, we would probably go to the local golf course just to check a few things out.
Right.
Yeah.
Make sure that the live guys weren't invading and everything.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't played one of those.
What?
Like a desert course.
I was going to say we're on the live tour. I didn't know if did they contact you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it. Not enough.
Interesting. Now, was it Greg Norman or was it or one of the other representatives?
No, it was one of the
controversial.
Yeah, it's very controversial.
Especially
but
you have an American flag in front of your house.
It's that Saudi money. What are you going to do? But if it was China, prune juice would say go for it.
Prune juice.
It's getting bad.
That guy I'm telling you, when I saw him do that little jiggy after he fell off the bike.
I'm okay.
I'm telling you, the guys in North Korea were probably like double the arsenal now. They're ready.
They're ready.
Exactly.
We're coming in.
Exactly. Coming in hot.
Yeah.
Watching you guys.
What else do you think can happen? And the scary thing is
he would be probably good offensive coordinator, be good defensive coordinator. I feel like he would run I feel like you'd run.
I'm aggressive.
You'd run the no huddle. And
dink and dunk, West Coast.
Fourth down, there's only one option. Go for it. Exactly.
Inside the 50, go for it. We don't kick field goals unless we have to.
And then my job is to come out and just be a bulldozer, get the ball back.
I like when the cornerbacks. I like when you have a good defense, aggressive, and you have the cornerbacks blitzing.
It's amazing. They just come in out of nowhere.
Yeah. See, I'd like a read and react defense where you have to have the good defensive line to push, and then your secondary reacts to what's going on.
Guys like
it's all about the line.
Guys like Ronnie Lott back in the day cut my finger off during the game. You don't see guys like that.
No. Oh my God! So what? You come off a little groggy, go back in. Here's some smelling salts.
So now Ronnie Lott, positive guy, you would say. Mm-hmm. And during that game when they told him he had to chop off his finger.
No problem.
Positive, right?
Yeah.
He didn't hold back.
No, you go for it.
That's it.
Well, that's like, you remember, you ever see, North Dallas 40?
Are you telling me to cut off my finger?
No, we're not going to cut you off.
And not like in Rocky when he says, cut me, Mick.
Cut me, Mick.
Okay. Cut me, Mick.
Well, you've seen North Dallas 40.
Oh, of course.
Oh, when they shoot him up. In the knees. So you can't feel anything and you keep going out and playing. Those are the good old days.
You ever get shot up, for an injury?
I used to self-medicate.
Did that help with your when you got your master's in spinning?
No. This was back in the day when I was working out. I was going to the gym and lifting, and I went the wrong way and I did something to my shoulder. And I was playing hockey on Friday nights. So I had a couple of cortisone shots. It takes a while till it takes. So I wanted to play hockey. So I, take some half a bottle of Aleve, and then you go out and play, and it felt great. And now I'm okay.
But now, do you think if you were playing hockey, do you think it would be better to self-medicate with cannabis as opposed to these other stronger type pills? I think that it's
I wouldn't use the cannabis to go play.
Right. I would say though for recovery, healing,
that's
and
different.
Coming instead of taking, like you said, a lot of Aleve,
right? It's more natural.
Stronger things. Seems like now. I mean, you see a lot.
You know what they say? If it's grown in the ground, it's probably okay.
Right. Just like they said, Seth Rogen and R.I.P. Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
Harold Ramis, Egon, love that man.
Yeah, he was great.
He was fantastic.
Back in the day.
Nothing that Harold Ramis did. He was just.
Ghostbusters was awesome.
Right, so back to the Jeff prevention. No. Just to conclude it. Let's conclude.
We can wrap up the Jeff prevention.
Let's conclude on the Jeff prevention.
Just to make sure. We just want to make sure you're okay.
Jeff is just fine.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Coming in loud and clear.
We were just concerned. That was it. This is out of love. We weren't sure.
You, and we love you. And just know that.
Oh, man, no, Jeff is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you just didn't seem the same that day. And haven't seen you. Said wife is begging me to get you out of the house. There was concern.
She's very dramatic.
Oh, okay. But
no, not your wife. Not at all. She's
but
very
it was
relaxed.
Done out of love.
She's very calm.
At least, you know what? I give it to. At least there's love there for her to be concerned.
I gotta say,
some other wives would have been. I don't give a shit.
A lot of wives in the area. His wife would really do anything above and beyond for him and his well-being, and to keep him below 30.
There's nothing wrong with me.
Exactly.
A lot of other wives. A lot of other ones
keeps him between the 30 and the 20 level.
A lot of the other ones you get in that position, they ask, is the insurance policy paid up? Is the life insurance paid? Okay.
And do you know a good broker in case anybody's looking to re-up or redo?
Can we just make it clear that there's nothing wrong with me? Like
Final analysis and conclusion?
Okay, you're okay.
Jeff's cured.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeff.
Cured of what?
I think this show did it. I think this conversation helped you out.
It's very inspirational.
Telling you, look at the sun. It's still up.
Yeah.
See? Still up. Still looking
gorgeous.
at us.
You got some, birds in the background.
Those aren't birds. Those are bugs.
Those aren't bugs.
Well,
no, not those. But you can hear
the visual are the bugs, but the audio is real birds.
The audio is just that's real chirping.
This is real. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
All I need is like the some Miyagi stuff, and it would be like the back of Mr. Miyagi's house.
I'm very impressed with the mulching. Did you do it yourself?
No, I used to.
Okay. I got to tell you, it's one of the hardest workouts I've ever had.
It's not the mulch. It's getting the mulch. Those bags are ridiculous.
50-pound bags.
Yep.
And then the way that you put the mulch down, and you're literally like a Marine, and you're doing bear crawls and crab walks and everything as you're putting down a 50-pound bag of mulch. And
see, I found you got to break the bag from the middle and dump,
and then
rake. And then I rake.
Wow, so you rake, see?
Yeah, and for some reason, every year I decide I'll do the mulch because it's like cheap. The bags are cheap.
Right. Get the Home Depot deal, the $2 when they're on sale for $2.
$2.50. I had the minivan. I had my son come with me.
You loaded it up in the van,
and I got the flatbed.
You're big on the flatbed.
I had the flatbed delivered because when I put 35 bags in my car, I had to spend $80 to have my car detailed to get the smell out. But the best part is that I bought 70 bags of mulch this year for $140.
Not bad.
Okay. $89 to deliver it on the flatbed.
Where's
Seems about right.
Why don't you just go one bag at a time at $6 a gallon?
Perfect. It would have been easy. Could have T-wopped that and everything. Would have been perfect.
See, now I got to tell you, there's a deal at Walmart. Walmart is my 6:15 in the morning. It was at Walmart. Okay, so you can get. They have a case of 24 waters for like $4 or $5 a case.
Wow.
But you can get it delivered, but it's $17 for delivery.
Now, with the waters, though, do they charge
They
recycling?
do charge,
So
yes.
now, explain to me.
But they don't in
recycling.
Jersey.
So I go to Staples.
The bottle deposit.
And I see that the water's on sale. I'm like, this is great. I'm going to buy. And then I'm like, wait a minute. It's not really that price. They're like, there's the bottle deposit charge or whatever. Can you guys explain to me
That's
what
how they make their money.
So is it really on sale then?
No, it's on sale, but when you just think of it this way, if it's $4 on sale plus the bottle deposit, the usual price is $7 plus the bottle deposit. That's how they make their money. That's how they sell the bottles so cheap.
I think it's false advertising, if you ask me.
And then here, you recycle here, and they throw all the shit into the same thing.
I was about to say,
it's ridiculous.
The sanitation department here, they don't separate it.
Nope.
It's all dumped in the same truck.
Yeah, they supposedly separate it at the depot.
At the depot, because of having it separated, then mixing it, then separating it again makes more sense.
So then why do they give us different...
I don't know.
This is for recycling. You move in here, they give you the green thing for recycling.
I guess there's no labor shortage for them that they're able to do this.
There is a labor shortage.
They're very generous. They're very generous, giving us a recycling can.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
That they don't. For
really
X amount of thousands of dollars in extra taxes, you get a recycling.
Or you can maybe get a $5 write-off that you have the can outside of your house like every other
Is that a write-off?
No.
But worth a shot.
No. Yeah. No. And you're doing the work.
I had somebody who recommended me getting a filtration system for the house.
What kind of filtration? What, water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Person never called me back.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe he should take advice from the bug guy that got you.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to look into that because that's just not good. That's not quality professional courtesy.
Here's what happened. I sent him a text.
Right.
Said I'm being referred by a particular person, and 2 weeks go by and nothing.
Yeah.
And then I get a
text back.
What's your address? Give him my address. He said I'll be in the neighborhood next week. It's been another 3 weeks.
Maybe he didn't come to the neighborhood.
I'm completely dehydrated.
You know
Maybe he's depressed.
You know what I'll say? I got 2 words. Chip shortage.
Yep. Very positive.
Chips in the water filter.
Chip shortage.
Chip shortage.
I'm trying to save the planet by using less plastic bottles.
We're going to have to call into the customer service department tomorrow and because there's no reason that Jeff should not have to have a negative feeling about not having water at his disposal.
See, what you're missing here is I'm dehydrated for several weeks now.
And that's
what, you can't drink. So where do you get your water usually from?
Jeff's,
Costco.
So you haven't been to Costco?
No, not recently.
This is why.
That's
Jeff,
why.
This is what's been going on.
Yeah,
now we figured it out.
You're not getting out to Costco.
Nope. Now we figured it out. He's dehydrated.
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 And it's affecting the mental state.
Yeah.
It's affecting the cerebrum or the cerebellum. And I think it's just
depression. It's a side effect of dehydration.
I feel responsible. And I want to rectify this. I'm going to rectify this because I don't like the fact that somebody I know has not been where he should be.
When I was properly hydrated, I was okay.
Yeah, maybe that's
be honest.
Well,
he really was.
Maybe you should walk around with I know people that walk around with the giant bottles of water all day.
Well, that was my plan. I was going to have one of those big bottles to hold the water all day at my desk. Right. And there you go, one of those. And
what happened? You used to bring the seltzer.
If you go on
do you have any
Amazon, they
seltzer?
have these very inspirational, inexpensive water bottles. One of them is 128 ounces. That's double the size of this one here. And every 2 hours, you have a goal to drink that amount of water with a little saying and inspiration to get you there.
But do you think 120 is excessive?
I do, because from what I've heard, and I'm not a medical physician at all.
So don't take this advice.
You're not a doctor of hydrology?
But I did stay at a Motel 6, so I would say that partially I have an opinion.
I have played a doctor on TV.
I've heard, though, that you're supposed to drink half your body weight in water a day. So if you are 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75 ounces of water a day.
Okay. Jesus Christ, that's excessive.
So without
who's got the time?
Without pointing fingers, are you saying said person is 240 pounds?
What do you mean 240 pounds?
You're saying
at
120 ounces.
I mean, it's a recommended, but people who do, I guess, a lot of working out. I mean, I drink at least 120 ounces of water a day. I weigh 185 pounds.
Okay,
I got to tell you, if you're 500 pounds, you're not drinking 200. You're not drinking 250 ounces of water.
Well, I'm thinking
you're a little busy doing something else.
I'm thinking of this particular person who's got the 120 ounce bottle. Would you call it?
Yes.
Yeah, they're nowhere near 240
they
pounds. They
probably way closer to what the
what the water is.
But I mean, it's an interesting. But you being,
I don't think my septic tank could take it.
Well, let me ask you a question. You being a former professional spinner, how much water in your prime were you drinking when you were doing all of this spinning and you were literally maximizing your?
I drink a lot of coffee a day, which is not the best.
How do you? But okay, I drink 60 ounces of coffee a day.
Back.
On top of the 100...
top of the water. So how much coffee do you drink?
I mean, what are you, 90% liquid?
Yeah, he is.
Probably like 91.
I've cut down my...
See, I can't. I'll tell you why.
91.9.
I'll tell you why. I got to sit in traffic on the way home. I'd be pissing myself.
So how big of a coffee do you get in the morning? Now do you make a cup at home or do you get one on the road?
I get home. No, home. Full cup.
Okay.
Do you have it already? Do you do the timer from the night before that automatically?
No, I got cut off. I got cut off from that, and now I do the individual. But you can put in your own coffee. You can make your own, and you put it into the little pod. And
you don't do the timer for the morning?
No, it doesn't go on automatically, but I have a routine because I come down, I hit the button, I make the coffee.
I like the timer.
I go to the bed. I go pee, and by the time I come out of the bathroom, my coffee's ready.
Yeah, but there's something nice about the smell of coffee coming to the to the floor. Puts you in a much better mood.
But
it's a very positive.
But I had to make said wife happy. So I gave in, which is fine.
She doesn't like the coffee smell.
No, she doesn't like cleaning the pot. And
what does that have to do with the timer?
Because now you only have to clean out this little thing instead of
when you were using the pot. Did you have a regular filter or a disposable filter?
Regular filter. Yeah. I didn't.
I do the regular filter, but I put the paper in there, so it's just an easy, quick change. But I still wash them.
You see, I don't because I'm trying to not use my carbon footprint.
I got one for you.
No, I'm serious. I don't like paper cups.
My coffee machine, you can put a Yeti or a similar type coffee product in there, and it has that setting.
Wow.
So it fills the cup up. So if it's like a 20, 26 ounce, 30 ounce, it has the setting.
How many scoops you put into a 30?
3 scoops.
Of coffee?
I do 3 scoops. I have a little coffee measure from Dunkin'. I do 3 scoops of that from my mix, and I put it in, and that makes me a 30 ounce.
I do.
So
half a cup.
I basically fill up like close to half a pot, and that fills up my 30 ounce Yeti.
Okay, because I do on the weekends. I'll make 6 cups. I'll make half a pot.
I do
6 cups.
I do two 30 ounce Yetis.
I do 10 cups.
But on those 6 cups, I got 6 scoops.
6. That's a lot.
That's a lot of coffee.
Well, I guess
I do 1 scoop per cup.
No, but I think you're right because I do 2 cups, and it would be 3 scoops per cup. You're exactly right.
And then I make my super coffee.
How do you do the super coffee?
Okay, so super coffee.
Super coffee.
Super Cuban coffee or
no. So I make my 6 cups. Then I take Israeli instant coffee, put it in, like a scoop of that, and then I put the regular coffee on top of that, and I mix it in.
Wow. So why the Israeli instant?
Do you videotape this for channel 172 on cable?
So how did you get that Israeli instant coffee? Why not using Stop and Shop instant coffee or other ones?
Because there's an extra kick to it.
Interesting. When I was in Miami,
and you know what you call it? You know what you call it? It's called a rinser.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. If you need to get some stuff.
Or it's like before you weigh in for your boxing fights.
You got to
This is exactly what you
got to kickstart something.
Huh.
You're little,
when you have to make
weight.
Are you making welterweight or featherweight these days?
Nah, I haven't been in as much. I've been very busy. Like Jeff, I've been very busy at work. I haven't been able to. I have to balance out.
Jeff
should we have an intervention for you because you haven't been to the boxing gym?
No, I've been, but he
Jeff's
was away.
Been able to get to the gym.
He was away.
So why do you need him to go to the gym? You can't train on your own, or you
don't
have a
you know what? No, if I'm going to train, I train. If I don't train, then I spin or play golf. And he was away, and I've had certain because now I take a little time off here and there, so I have a lot of work to do.
You have a lot of balancing.
I have to cram it in.
Look at that.
He has to
but it hasn't affected my beach time.
It hasn't affected my beach time either.
I don't know. You weren't the same.
Maybe I was, in the middle of reading something.
You weren't.
I think Jeff was just balancing things when he saw you. I think he was just getting things balanced.
It was just out of concern. That's it.
Maybe it was high tide.
No, it was low tide that day.
I think we were also, you know what? I think the fact that we don't see you that much on the beach and that you hibernate in your cabana.
No, I don't. I'm on the beach.
We don't. I mean, I recognized you because you're a recognizable person, and especially that you declared that you're not running for Congress.
Yeah.
But the
Hawaiian shirt really stuck out.
Well, your hat. I didn't see the Hawaiian shirt.
But you saw the Cuban.
About it, but I did see that
I had the Hawaiian.
Was perfect
the hat,
for the beach.
I got to tell you,
need that protection.
It's a great hat.
It's a great hat.
I thought, okay, cool, I'll do something different instead of a
guys like me
hat.
need a hat like that.
It's a great hat. It really does the work.
It's a perfect beach hat.
And then when you need to nap, it comes over your face, and you go and you fall asleep. But no, I'm on the beach. I'm just on the other side of the tower.
Interesting.
Because I'm right down from the cabana.
You go left, we go right.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So getting back to Keurig's, Jeff and I saw a very interesting Keurig video the other day on Instagram. We need to know, this could be an episode, we could do a segment on the show if the producers will approve it, if we call it Fact or Fiction.
It's not us. It would be...
your executive producers.
No, it would be our distributor.
So... That being said,
because they said if you don't that they will take down content that's not true. So apparently you can milk an almond.
Jeff and I saw
almond does have teats.
Yep, almond does have teats.
It can be milked.
It can be milked.
So Jeff and I saw this video. It was a Keurig that was able to, how could we put this tastefully on the air, Jeff? Automatically roll joints.
What?
Yeah.
Using a pod... like a Keurig that is broken up, but...
You put the disc in, put the thing down, and out shoots...
a pre-rolled, perfectly joint.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, whether this is fact or fiction, I don't know, but
don't they have like those
distribution rates.
Yeah, but don't they have like machines that do that? In fact, I saw this past weekend, I saw the ice cream of Keurig.
Ooh.
Yeah, you put a pod in, or this ice cream thing, you put it into the thing, you can add strawberries or mint or whatever your favorite topping is, Oreos, and it mixes it up, and out comes ice cream.
Frozen?
Yeah.
So it's like, is it more of a soft serve, or like, would you say...
The way it came out, it was at the beach, so it was a little on the milky side, but apparently it's supposed to be like this next big thing of ice cream.
Our friend had a Keurig last year at the beach that had alcohol pods that...
Had them.
I think it was a neighbor of yours,
a
local orthopedist that will keep nameless. That, but he enjoyed it thoroughly, I must say.
It was fantastic.
There was also the same gentleman with the... Didn't he have the slushy machine? Or did he have the snow cone thing, right?
No, we have a snow cone.
Who had the snow... But
they had the snow cone.
They had the snow cone. What did you guys have?
Now we have a snow cone. I got to tell you, it's the most annoying. It's the most annoying thing to have.
Why?
What?
Because you just hear, the kids come in and play with it. You just hear...
And you just have to get a lot of ice and then syrup. You must have
the syrups.
A lot of syrup.
You know how you put an end to it? Replace the snow cone machine you have now with the Snoopy one. And let them try to make their own snow cones.
Yeah, that's not going to fly.
Snoopy snow cone maker was one of the best of all time.
Between the snow cone and the Betty Crocker oven, there you go. You can start a restaurant.
You want cake, kids? Here, bake this. And it comes out with the size.
These little muffins, but I got to tell you, that Snoopy stone cone maker, besides my WWF wrestling figures, were the best toys
I had
growing up.
Before the ones that didn't even move. Remember, you had like
the ones
Hulk
that were
Hogan.
made of rubber.
Hulk Hogan was permanently like this.
Did you have the ring and
I had the ring
and accessories?
Those the best. Hulk Hogan was permanently like this, and then like Big John Studd was like Jimmy Snuka was like this with his arms, and then this guy was you couldn't even
Macho Man.
But I'm saying
I remember the Saturday night main events were on super late. I would wake up to go to Hebrew school on Sunday mornings. My dad taped them on the VCR, and
that was
we would
big
wake
happening.
up in the morning, running downstairs to make sure that it taped to see who was on the Saturday nights made it. The wrestling
when I first got
into
wrestling, I used to watch the WWF at the time, and it was like 9 or 10 o'clock Saturday mornings.
Yeah,
and they had like 5 or 6 matches. And they were all against, it would be like, what was Junkyard Dog?
JYD. God,
versus Steve Lombardi.
Brooklyn Brawler.
Became the Brooklyn Brawler. But that's
Lombardi. What a great...
but that was they were all what they call it, they were all crunch matches with the guy, you were promoting the better, and then remember, instead of pay-per-view, they had every once a month, Monday night, they had it at Madison Square Garden.
Is that the Monday Night Raw?
No, well, it became Monday Night Raw, but they used to do it instead of pay-per-views. They used to have it every month was like the big matches, and that's the only time the stars would face off against each other,
or the Royal Rumble,
right? Or they would be in some kind of match at like the Boston Garden, like if you went, but they never featured matches with 2 stars against each other.
Yeah.
No,
exactly. Which was the guy? He'd come out and he used to pat himself on the back.
With those, not the bushwhackers. No,
this was back in the. You know, this
I remember Tito Santana,
Jimmy Foley Snuka versus Jose Luis Rivera.
There were a bunch. There were guys from the Isle of Tonga. There was there was a lot of
big.
What about King Kong Bundy?
This is
British Bulldogs.
This I'm going even before this. This is when you had like Don the Rock
Morocco. Are we talking like Bruno Sammartino? Like
Sam Martino in his older days. We're talking about
Don Morocco, Iron Sheik, Volkov. Remember during the 80s, the Bad Blood?
Oh, yeah. Those were the good.
Like Rocky IV all over again.
Those were the good. I remember
Hulk against the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. They were going crazy against us.
Yeah, and then you had Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham, the U.S. Express.
What about the Killer
Wait.
Right?
Don Murdoch. Dick Murdoch. Yeah, Dick Murdoch and Adrian Adonis.
Oh, my God, Adrian Adonis.
That was yeah.
Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful.
Bobby
Kiss the Muscles of Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yep. And the Wizard, the Grand Wizard.
The Wizard. What about Mean
He was Sergeant. He was Sergeant Slaughter's.
So how about this? Remember Mean Gene Okerlund?
Yep.
His son was on the '88 U.S. Olympic hockey team.
No.
Yep. And I remember Mean Gene going crazy on Nikolai Volkov because Nikolai Volkov was going to USA and Mean Gene was going crazy. But Mean Gene's son was on the 88 hockey
I didn't know
team.
that.
Yep.
No, it was great. You know, Hulk Hogan, let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
What about Roddy Piper?
He was great. Piper, you know what? You didn't realize how good Rowdy Piper was until like his last few years.
How hot?
He was great on the mic.
How hot was Elizabeth? The Macho Man.
That was his wife.
That
was messed up.
She was
fantastic.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
How
about now?
I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her now.
She's
recently.
dead.
So then I guess she's not looking so good.
Yeah. Unless you're into
real nice, Jeff. Real nice.
Yeah.
Kick somebody while they're down. I guess Jeff's feeling
how she's doing.
Jeff's feeling much better now, everybody.
No, I'm saying, maybe
kicking a dead person while she's down.
No,
I mean, you could be into those things. I don't know.
How do we know?
We don't know.
We don't know if she's dead.
You're talking about her, and you don't even know how.
I just said back in the day.
Back in the day,
she was gorgeous.
Maybe.
I mean, but it's also like Kelly McGillis. But it's like Kelly McGillis of Top Gun.
That's
she
my
was gorgeous
point.
in '85. Have you seen a recent picture of her now?
She didn't age well.
He kind of politely said, "You're not really welcome back to the sequel." We're happy to give you a little bit of a kickback.
She has a very nice personality.
Isn't she a lesbian now?
She's something.
I thought.
She's a Top Gun instructor.
No, she's not. She wasn't asked back.
I think she's a Top Gun eater. Is really.
Oh,
wow!
She fell on the air hose and didn't get up. There we go. I wonder how much water a day she drinks.
Not enough.
The opinions expressed by guests are not necessarily those of the show.
All NDAs have been signed and executed and notarized.
Call sign Charlie. You do not salute her.
But the picture of Kelly McGillis recently.
Nobody saluted her.
I mean, I'm not really much of a looker myself, but whoa.
Yeah, it's a sad fall from grace. A lot of them happen.
Maybe she's very happy.
She's probably very positive.
Yeah,
very
like Jeff.
Probably very positive.
I see her in my Monday night therapy classes.
There you go. Oh, you see? He's doing it behind our back.
It's me, Kelly.
Yeah. Who else?
A couple of others. Carmen Electra shows up every once in a while.
Yeah. And maybe Denise Richards if she's not on OnlyFans with her daughter.
Oh,
wow.
So how did that work?
Or Nicole Eggert had a big fall from her. Remember?
Yeah.
She was everybody's crush.
They watch Charles in Charge?
Incorrect on both. It's called the movie Blown Away with Nicole Eggert. Are you
Blown Away?
Is that right up there with Barbed Wire?
This is better because Nicole Eggert, let's just say, definitely gets down and dirty with both Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, and you really see a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole Eggert, this was her claim to fame. I would not the Blown Away with Tommy Lee Jones because that's a little bit of a different theme and cast. Nicole Eggert,
just more
Blown Away. Let me know on next week's show what you guys think.
There's more emphasis on blown than being
I guarantee you will only be positive after this.
All right, I got to check it out.
Nicole Edgert, Blown Away.
Yeah.
Hold on, we got to do a little research.
I must say, this was in the 90s.
Is your wife like? Because sometimes when you're,
I had this taped on my VCR.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it.
Because sometimes when you sit on this deck, this is
the reception in Jeff's phone in this deck.
Yeah, it doesn't go well.
This isn't a good phone.
No, this is the area. He was sitting right there. This is said area.
So where was the actual spot where Jeff was sitting? So it was this chair,
right
that chair,
and the chair was positioned here. Now,
right. I was sitting where Jeff was.
Where was the individual who received the call from Jeff's
other end? Yeah, other end.
So at that.
No.
I would go.
We were in the hut.
Yeah,
we were in the hut.
We were in the sucker. Yeah,
I see.
She was down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's when she notified Jeff of
said wife, and
basically
trouble.
that there was a message for Jeff.
The SOS.
Basically, you left. Yes, understood.
Hey, I was in a good mood that night.
Oh, yeah, you are.
I heard that you were fantastic. You were
that was retro, Jeff.
You were breaking above the 200 DMA that night.
Yeah,
you were definitely breaking out.
It's fine, Gotta catch me at the right time.
Okay, well, we're happy. We're happy to have you back.
There you go.
I think he's back. I think we did.
Let's cheers to that.
Yes, I think. Oh, I got a refill. I think we did our job tonight.
Okay, good.
And that's going to do it for tonight's episode of Aging Immaturely. As always, we'd like to thank Mr. Mazer for coming on, helping me with the intervention and bringing Jeff back to us.
Just everybody stay positive. And,
there's no intervention.
And as always, you can find us at thereaлагingimmaturely.com.